Hey there, thanks for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're returning. My name is Emily, and I'm just a little trash baby trying to smell good stuff. So I made a couple of other of these sort of fragrance roundup videos. This is my third one, and this one's going to be a little different. The past two were kind of what I wore in a fortnight type videos. This one I'm just doing recent acquisitions, so this is just stuff I've bought since my last video or that has come to me via subscription service. Partly just because what I wore was a little bit chaotic because I did a lot of layering and my note-taking wasn't as good, and plus there was a lot of repeat offenders, so I thought I would just talk about some new stuff, or new to me anyway. Actually, I'm going to start with the oldest perfume on this table. This is Oxygène by Lanvin, and this came out in 2000. Obviously a very of its time bottle design. I personally think that it's kind of atrocious looking. It reminds me of like a drugstore, like Vicks Vapor Rub, like vaporizer or something that you would get in the over-the-counter section. And it's also, unless you have like a larger hand than it's kind of difficult to hold. So you spray it here. If you know anything about perfume, then you know that the bottle and the juice, while they might be, I guess, thematically connected in some way, don't necessarily really have much to do with each other. Like the perfumer, the person who creates the perfume, does not design the bottle and doesn't have any control over it. They often don't even name the perfume. And in fact, like the name and the bottle are sometimes picked out and designed long before the perfume is even complete. But this is obviously meant to evoke something refreshing, perhaps mildly antiseptic, sort of a repudiation of maybe the big florals of the 80s. I was actually surprised this came out in 2000 because, I don't know, it seemed like it was sort of a reaction, to those big, like, Sophia Grossman style and Elizabeth Taylor, etc., like big floral type perfumes. But it came out quite a bit later, and I think like the freshy trend in the 90s had already kind of started. But this is definitely it's definitely very like clean and fresh smelling. Yeah. Upon immediate spray, it can be a little bit like bracing. It's like a white, just clean smell. It kind of reminds me of fluffy laundry. It doesn't have like a starchiness to it that laundry can have, but more so of like it's still kind of warm, and it's like a really soft cotton sheet that you get right out of the dryer that kind of maybe has like a high thread count and is really kind of soft and a little almost like creamy to the touch, if that makes sense. And it's plush. I would say that it's definitely like a plush fragrance, but it's also not super dense. Like, the way you can, like, again, push and manipulate that sheet. Like, imagine a big ball of laundry, and you can just kind of like, there's like air pockets in it, you know what I mean? So it's kind of got that quality. The beginning to me is, it can be a little abrasive and a little too just like evocative of like laundry and kind of that kind of cleaning supply vibe, but I think that after it opens up a little bit, it's really pretty. And it particularly does well in the outdoors, like in heat and with a little bit of airflow. Like, I experienced it inside my apartment, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of this like, it's kind of not doing too much for me. But then um, I went out and sat on my porch, and it just really opened up, and the floral aspect came out a lot better. Um, I have a little on my hand I'm smelling right now. Kind of in the mid, there's this really actually believable gardenia note. Kind of a milky gardenia, which can be hard to find. I often find that things that claim to be a gardenia scent just really miss the mark. And gardenia is one of those flowers that you cannot actually distill or draw an essence out of. I don't know if they've done like I don't know if they've ever been able to do like a sense based technology thing with it, where they actually like analyze the aroma chemicals coming off of a live flower and then analyze and recreate it in a lab. But I know that you can't like steam distill or do like solvent extraction with the gardenia. And I mean, that's neither here nor there anyway, because most florals and most perfumes are synthesized anyway. But yeah, a lot of times I'm like very disappointed in gardenia claiming scents because I love the smell of real gardenia, and they just don't, they're nothing like that. But this actually, there's like this fleeting moment where it really does kind of bring a lot of that texture out. So I wouldn't say this is like a overwhelmingly floral fragrance though. It's more just like clean than anything. So yeah, that's that. And this one now is, I don't remember how much I paid, but this is one that is now considered like a budget sort of hidden gem type fragrance. And I definitely like it more than I did when I first got it. So that's always good. On the other side of the spectrum, something I don't like and is on the chopping block is this Finery Rosalina. I've tried several other of their fragrances and really enjoy some of them. This one is supposed to be a Delina dupe, which is not why I got it. Like, I don't actually have any interest in Delina. It was more so that I was at Target. I wanted to smell Finery stuff. They had kind of a very limited selection of things out. Like, they only had like maybe a handful of them there. It seemed like a lot of them were sold out. And just on first sniff, you know, I sprayed it in the air and smelled it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's really pretty. That's you know, I got this kind of sheer, pretty, I guess, sort of girlish rose aspect from it. But now I am like, there is this like gross musk that just completely overpowers, and it's like, I guess I can smell a little bit of, no, yeah, I don't even know how I initially smelled the rose, but now it's just like this really cloying, just nasty ass musk. They describe it as cashmere musk, and it's just, ugh, it's like sweet. It's almost like buttery, like, you know, like like the synthetic butter that they put on popcorn at the movie theater. It's almost like that. It's like, it like attacks your nose. It like takes over all of your scent receptors, and it's just like that. And ugh, it sucks. I hate it. Like, I do not recommend this perfume. Ugh. So I'm gonna try to sell it on Mercari or something. Total dud. Fucking hate it. And usually with like perfumes where I'm like, I don't know. You know, I'll give it a few wears. I'll see if my perceptions change. In this case, it's just like, I don't even want to give it I don't want to suffer through like even trying it, you know? I don't feel compelled to put it on my body, and I just want it out of my life. So that's Rosalina. No thank you. Another one I'm a little bit on the fence about, that might be on the chopping block, is this Rums al Rasasi Pour L, and the house is Rasasi. It's got this weird ass decapitated barcode zebra with this sort of flocked back. Very strange design choices. And I'm gonna read the box because it's ridiculous. Express your identity with really random capitalization. Rumors, gossips, fun, and frolic. Termed as secret is captured. Many came and gone to decode and divulge the secret, but in vain. Truthful as the tale that is revealed by the stripes black and white. Eventually, it's revealed now with the code. Rumsal Rasasi 9325. Poor L. Yeah, no. It's just kind of... it's fine. Let's see. What did I even write about this one? I said, citric spicy with wood, question mark. Sweeter on skin, thin, not super smooth. So, the reason I picked this up is I got the 1001 Perfumes Guide by Daniel Barros that just came out, and I was just like skimming for perfumes that sounded good to me, and Amber Wood by Ajmal was in there, and I was like, oh man, this like checks all the boxes, you know. And I looked on the this perfume reminds me of thing, and a lot of people had said this one. So, and this one was like half the price of the Ajmal. I mean, the Ajmal is not that expensive as far as perfume goes, but you know, I was like, I've been wanting to try some of these like Arabian sort of cheaper perfumes. I know some people have fantastic luck with them, so I'll give it a shot. But I'm not impressed. It's really hard to describe. Yeah, I guess I get citrus and some spice and some wood, but it's just all kind of thin. Yeah, the composition just seems really flimsy. It's okay. It's definitely better on skin. It sweetens up a little bit. It almost feels like it's like almost trying to have an Amber Accord, but it just can't land the jump exactly. It's not terrible. It just smells really like generic and just really kind of flimsy and thin to me, and I just don't. It's like whatever. I'm kind of torn between trying to let it rest a little bit longer and just trying to sell it, because I don't really imagine it's going to get that much better. But I know some people say, you know, you gotta let, particularly like these sort of lower end Arabian perfumes, kind of mellow and lose some of the synthetic edge. But I'm also like, you know what? I could sell it and maybe get at least a decant of something, you know, truly excellent. Which leads me to this Serge Luton 5 o'clock Gingembre EDP, and this is like an 8 ml. This is an 8 ml decant that I got from Fragrance Net, and holy shit, now that is a perfume. That is so, god damn, that smells so good. Yeah, if you like ginger, you know, definitely check this out. Oh man. It's, I think it's supposed to, you know, because of the 5 o'clock thing, it's supposed to like evoke, you know, ginger cookies with high tea or something. It's definitely got that a little tiny twist of that bitter tea, like kind of on the periphery, but it's predominantly, yes, ginger, ginger. Oh gosh, and it's just wonderful. I actually get, even though I can see the ginger sort of biscuit aspect to it, I actually get a little bit of like a Chinese like five spice vibe. I mean, it's not 100% there, but it almost smells like a spice blend used in Asian cooking to me. Oh man. Yeah, it's just, it's love. It's very present and warm, but lifted. Um, you know, it's not going to be like a deep, moody, sensual amber, but oh, yeah. Yeah, really good. So, I definitely recommend this if you like spicy perfume. Um, another little spicy boy is Experimentum Crucis by Etat Libre d'Orange, and ooh, yeah, this is a deep, sensual, voluptuous perfume. Um, Definitely apple, rose, yeah, like a really velvety, big old rose, and cumin, some wood in the base, and yeah, holy crap, it smells good. It's one that I'm not always, it's like, oh, you got to be in the mood for it because it's just like the rose is really there. Mmm, it's just the spice and the florals really go together. The spice somehow makes the flowers more serious and mature. I really wanted to check this out because of the cumin note, which can be controversial. You know, some people say it smells like BO, but I'm like, cumin is like my favorite spice to cook with, and just period. And I love the way it smells. Um, you know, it's just, it's pungent and kind of animalic, and I don't know. I just think it's wonderful. So I would honestly, I'm still looking for like my ideal cumin fragrance, and I've even thought about just trying to like get cumin essential oil and try to make something myself because I think people do tend to avoid it because it's not like commercially viable. But in this, it's really, you know, I wouldn't say subsumed, but it's really locked in with the floral, so you're not just getting the cumin. Um, it's definitely like a sweaty, humid, rich scent. And I will say the other day I made like the most amazing pot of pinto beans, which I haven't been able to recreate. But you know, I cooked them from dry, and I had I had different dried like adobo chilies, and definitely, you know, onions, garlic, cumin, um, that better than bouillon stock, like just different stuff like that. And they were just, they had just this perfect like starchiness, um, and there was just something about a smell of that pot of beans cooking that just made me really like in the mood to wear this perfume, because I was like, I don't know, it just feels like it would go with it. You know what I mean? Like it'll like stand up to this smell and kind of complement it, and it just sort of, yeah, this has like starchy pot of beans vibes. I mean, it doesn't smell like beans, but it's got that same like body to it. um So yeah, really, really nice. Kind of a lot. You have to be in the mood, and I think it's definitely more of a winter perfume. But honestly, I kind of like the idea. I mean, I'll probably change my tune when it's actually like 102 degrees here, but I kind of like the idea of just like being like a sociopath and wearing like a really heavy perfume like that on a hot day. There's just something like, just lean into it, you know, like just be as like hot and like, I don't know. Sometimes when it's really hot out, I mean, I kind of like the heat, but it's like I'd almost rather just like embrace it and just like get into it and get really like sweaty and like ugh. Somehow it's like better than trying to fight it sometimes, but I don't know. I would probably lose all of my associates if I did wear this on a hot July day. But we'll see. Oh God, I sprayed it and now I'm not going to be able to smell anything else. Another one I got from my subscription service is Iris Cartagena by Bon Parfumeur, and this is number 502. They have like a system where they arrange their perfumes by olfactive family into this number system, which I don't know, depending on your preference, is either a good or a bad thing. But this perfume is, this is a really unique perfume. I haven't smelled anything like it. I'm not saying nothing like it exists, but I haven't smelled it. Oh wow, that's so cool. It's like cacao and like, it says papyrus. I can kind of see that. There's something sort of almost waxy smelling about it. And wow, that's so intriguing. It's definitely like the kind of bitter dark chocolate, you know, cacao nibs sort of smell, and so not at all like a, you know, gourmand chocolatey vanilla or anything. There's nothing vanillic about it. It has like kind of a really, to me, sort of like a flat, waxy structure, but not in a bad way. Not flat in the sense of just something falling flat, but just more that it's like a linear. And when I say linear too, development, I don't know. I think it is kind of a linear development actually. But when I say flat or linear, it's just kind of like the body of it is like this. It's like 2D or something. I don't know if that makes any sense. But it's almost like, have you ever had like a kind of a low quality chocolate bar that kind of has a lot of wax to it, like one of those King Carlos V bars? And you kind of just feel like you're biting into a piece of flavorless wax. Like, it kind of has that texture to the smell, but in a way, that makes it sound bad, but it like actually makes it it like highlights the chocolate or something. God, I don't know how to explain it, but it's really interesting, and I like it a lot. I didn't think I liked it when I first got it, and then like a month later, I randomly just craved it. I was like, I want to spray that on, and I had a ball. I really enjoyed it. So unfortunately, my journal doesn't lend me much help. I just simply wrote Iris Cartagena and then I put a heart by it. But I like it, and so this definitely makes me want to explore chocolate as a note in fragrance more, but not necessarily in a gourmand, or at least like a sweet desserty gourmand setting. And I do love, I mean, I love chocolate in its myriad forms. I do really love the bitter, like 80 or 70% dark chocolates. And yeah, I don't know. I think that one's cool, worth checking out. The final one is Commodity Rain, and this is one of the archive scents that they release on a limited basis, I think like twice a year. So it's not in their regular roster. And it is, yeah, it's a really pretty light, damp, watery floral scent. It's definitely not a petrichor or a jasmine, um, you know, realistic interpretation of rain. It's more of a fantasy elaboration. And the notes that they gave are lemon verbena, lotus, and musk. I don't. That's really pretty. Yeah, the lemon verbena, like, if you smell the actual lemon verbena, it's quite lemony and citric, and I don't really get that super strongly, which is actually kind of an indication maybe that it's well blended. I don't know. It's hard to, it's so hard to talk about fragrance because it's such a sort of ineffable experience. And so I think a lot of times people fall back on these like dissections of notes, just in an effort to qualify or communicate or whatever. And I do that too. The problem with it, though, is that it really, fragrances, or at least good fragrances, aren't just like a bunch of separate notes. It's about the accords and the whole being greater than the sum of parts, etc. And so, yeah, when you just like get into notes, it can be, I don't know, a little bit overly reductive, and I think it makes people, sometimes I think it makes people feel smart, but it's like you're kind of approaching it on like a superficial level. Although, I want to be able to like identify, I want to be able to like be familiar with the materials and identify them and things, but I also want to be able to look at the perfume holistically and from like a critical lens. But yeah, anyway, point being, it's a pretty clear, light, early spring type fragrance. It's not as distinctive as their current roster. Like, I feel like everything in Commodities catalog now held at least one iteration of all of their fragrances, because they do this scent space thing where they'll release the main expressive fragrance and then they'll release a personal and a bold flanker that are supposed to have different projections and have slightly different notes, like, just variations on a theme. And of all those that I've smelled, they're all really distinctive, and you can kind of, almost pick out a DNA to them, even though they're, different perfumers. But this one to me is a little more generic. I feel like I've smelled this scent profile like elsewhere, but I can't exactly place it. It reminds me a little bit of the Method Soap Sweetwater, which I really, really love. I think I like Sweetwater more than whatever is in this. But yeah, that just kind of sweet, like kind of sweet, clear floral. And I actually, honorable mention, I don't know whether or not people want to see body care stuff, but I got the Kumba Made Water Goddess body lotion, and honestly, this is like one of my favorite things I've gotten recently. Yeah, I really love like all of this brand stuff that I've tried. Their Egyptian musk lotion is really, really good. The enchantment oil is good. The Tunisian patchouli it's okay. It's not my favorite. The rose it's good for what it is. It's that certain type of like kind of heavy oil rose. But this smells so pretty, and it's kind of got a similar, you know, not super watery, but just like a light, inviting sort of herbaceous floral. Of the scent ingredients, it's, I don't know what all, but it's got calendula, it's got passion fruit, rice, acai palm. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but yeah, it smells really good, and I feel like it layers pretty well with Rain, although it's actually stronger. Just even in lotion form, it's stronger than Rain. Like, Rain is pretty ephemeral. So, and I'm learning to appreciate that more. You know, I think sometimes too, we want perfume to last forever, which, you know, you're spending a lot of money, so it makes sense, but it's not just, if you're going to view it as like a work of art, then it's not purely just about, you know, how long it lasts. It's not just like a product that is supposed to serve you. It's also like the thing that's to be enjoyed and appreciated in and of itself because it's beautiful for however long or short that beauty may last, I guess. And, you know, I think that's one way to look at it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I prefer things that have better longevity, but yeah, it's just something to think about. So anyway, that's all the stuff all the good smelly stuff I bought lately. Good, and in some cases not so good, but you know, you win some, you lose some. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think. Have you tried any of these? Do you want to try any of them? Have you tried anything similar? Do you have any thoughts on any of the ideas that I shared? Yeah, I just love communicating with people about this hobby. So if you feel so inclined, please do drop a comment, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. Bye.